Hi everyone. Welcome to today's session. Today's session in the Let's Talk Design series, we'll be talking about the beauty of stone. We have a very special guest. Sorry about the delay. I think they were having trouble logging in. I'm going to just add them to our right now and give it one more try. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you so much for being a part of the Let's Talk Design series by A-Class Design, A-Class Marbles, sorry. We'll be talking about the beauty of stone in interior and facades, and we have a very special guest with us today. Nilanjan, I'm going to just take a minute to introduce you to
Sure.
our audience. So we have with us Nilanjan Bhowal, who's one of India's leading architects. He believes that design is nothing but putting habitat in nature. His passion for design and architecture made him start his own firm called Design Consortium in 1995 after completing his master's in architecture from Belgium, specializing in human settlements. His vision is to create spaces that are exhilarating to experience while being functional and eco-friendly at the same time. His firm is involved in designing several residential, hospitality, commercial, corporate, and urban design projects. He emphasizes on the design elements and makes an effort to keep environmental sustainability as the basis of all architectural creations. His design philosophy is minimalistic and is inspired by nature. So thank you so much, Nilanjan, for being a part of this series. And it's an absolute pleasure to be discussing the beauty of stone in interiors and facades with you. We have a very simple format. We try and keep the session less than 30 minutes so that more and more people can get access to the session. My first question to you would be, what are the qualities of natural stone that make it an elegant choice for interiors or exterior use?
Yeah. See, stone is a very versatile material. I find it one of the most beautiful materials which has been available since time immemorial. Since human beings started building, it has been there. So stone is the oldest material. It's available in abundance. It's always there. It's everywhere. So there is never a problem that whether I'll be able to find stone, or it's the only problem with stone is the choice. What should I use, where, and how?
Right. Yeah.
Stone is a very durable material, and like you get sandstones, you get granites, you get limestones, marble, all their different types, and it depends on the various years of its formation that makes it more and more durable. Stone does not require much maintenance. Very easy on maintenance, a little bit of care, nothing else. Stone is very easily recyclable. I find that amazing, which makes it a very green product. It's recyclable at the same time it's repolishable. After a few years, you can polish it again and it looks as good as new. I can find huge amount of uses for stone. Another very interesting quality is that stone can be salvaged. If you demolish a house, you can use that stone again in a different form in another way. You can chisel it, you can cut it in blocks, you can cut it in slabs, you can use for cladding, you can use as a whole. So I think the most important three aspects are versatility, the durability, and availability. That's what makes it, I think, one of the best materials. I think,
Right. And how
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So, of course, it's versatile and it's, like you said, it's actually extremely sustainable inherently, right? How do you see it responding to contemporary design aesthetic? Particularly in interior design projects, right? Where trends are constantly changing, there's new stuff happening. How do you see stone as a material responding to the changing needs of the market today?
So whenever we use a stone, it's a very conscious decision against other material like a tile, which is an artificial material, or something that is a composite material, which is also prepared. So when you decide to use stone, then you look at the function, how you're using it. if it's purely for elegance and look, then you go for a certain kind of marble. For example, it could be Indian marble or Italian marble or from any part of the world. If you look for durability, something of permanence, then I would say go for granite and a very hard surface if you need. If you go for something which is going to get a lot of abrasion yet low cost, practical, then something like Kota stone or Agra stone is also brilliant for that. If you want to give it a very rustic look, then go for sandstones. You can use slate, things like that. So the type of stones actually decides what kind of purpose you're going to use it for. Stones like travertine, which is an Italian stone, can give a very nice, rustic look even in the interiors, though it's an Italian marble. And then in the stone, you can have a multiple array of finishes. The same stone, if you use a different kind of finish, it looks totally different. For example, Udaipur marble, which is a very, very old Indian, very style and very often used. You go for a honed finish, it looks different. You go for a bushhammer finish, it looks very different. So depending on what kind of a look you want, you decide on what kind of a finish you'd like to give it. Then also where you can use the stone. Now that's what I said. It's very versatile because it need not be only for flooring or the walls. Use it for furniture. We use it for tabletops. We use stone for making light fixtures. We can use it for making table lamps. So furniture, accessories, cups, huge amount of usage. So these are the factors. Then the biggest choice is the colors. And that's why I like, Italian marble. And I think A-class marble is the wisest choice of Italian marble. And with them, you have a huge range of colors from green to black to red to orange to grays. So it can be possible color palette or mood. And then there are transparent stones also, like agate, the semi-precious stones,
Yeah.
or even onyx. Onyx looks beautiful when it's backlit. So all these can be. Now let's look at different places where there are. For example, wall cladding is very common. Flooring, one of the very, common uses when we see the stone should be hard, should be easy to maintain, well, can be easily polished, easy to lay, transport. Then we have furniture. There we look at the exclusivity. For tabletops, we can use, this very good Armani grays, or we've used even on, they look brilliant. Even counters, they can be very good for vanity counters of toilets. Even those can be backlit. We've used it even for, the backsplash of kitchen cabinets. We've used them even in kitchen shutters these days. So depending on the place where you want to use, once you know the wide range of possibilities in stone, you can choose the entire thing depending on the color palette and the location where you want to use it. Right?
Okay. So I'm actually, because you spoke about where it's being used, Amber, my next question is going to be taken off from there. Particularly in outdoor landscaping, right?
Okay.
Again, there's a lot of wear and tear. There's a lot of, one needs to be very worried about maintenance. How is it going to respond to the extreme, sometimes climatic conditions in cities like Delhi, for example? What are the various ways in which stone can be amplified, and its beauty can be amplified for use in outdoors landscape spaces?
Yeah. So what we do is we can, when we use stone for outdoor landscaping, what we consider are, if it's for flooring, it should have high abrasion resistance. So all kinds of granites are very good. If you want a rough finish, you can go for Agra stone, even Dholpur, or even granites. Whoever's been in Delhi or has visited, let's say the Sundar Nursery is one of the best examples where they've used grey Agra, pink Dholpur, Gwalior, as well as grey granite. And that is totally weatherproof. You don't need to do anything to go in for a rough matte finish. Now, when you use it for facades in the outdoors, it requires a little bit of care. So that too has different kind of finishes. So you can use them for cladding, preferably dry cladding, because stone in cladding becomes very heavy. So it with brackets. And then there are different treatments. There are different chemicals, there are polymers, there are even silicone, very finished. Uh, this, for example, the exposed brick walls behind us, we do a fine layer of transparent silicone, which does makes it non-porous. When we use stones like, let's say Jaisalmer stone, which is very porous, or even the Eta gold, which looks nice on elevation, but is slightly porous. So we need to protect them. So you can do a coat. You can put other chemicals. There are epoxies, which are prevalent. They give it a very nice sheen, can be glossy or it's matte. Even in granite, what you have to remember is the moment you use any of these chemicals, it changes the slight color of the stone. So you have to try it on a small piece before you decide to do it on a whole surface. So that is very important, how we treat the stone. Then another thing is in exteriors, you have to look at, if you're using it for wall cladding, how you will waterproof that surface. Because if there are gaps in the stone, then it allows the water to permeate. So what we do is we have a joint, we overlap or put fine grooves, because we cannot use very large pieces of stone, because even while cladding, elevation, because you're standing on a scaffolding and working, it's not possible to use very large slabs. So what we have to do is we have to use smaller stones. So we have to seal the joints. So we have again available for that. And then after that, cleaning the surface. After stone is put on the facade, cleaning is very important. These days, even granites are used. We use a lot of granites and they look extremely nice, black or gray, light shades or of white or any stone. Because the moment you do a rough matte finish on the granite, the whole texture changes. And then you need to see how you will fix it, because granite is also again a very heavy stone. And so the bracket system is the dry cladding is the best one that is recommended for exteriors. Another important thing in landscaping, since you mentioned, is that people use a lot of what do you call stone for creating light fixtures. So we often use light fixtures made out of sandstone. Again, if you go to old monuments, or even if I would recommend, you can visit the Sundar nursery. I wish I could show you images. I don't know if I can because it does not allow screen scanning. Let me see. I've got some slides. If I can replicate my screen here while we talk, it would be interesting for all your, the audiences to, if I can, maybe let me turn the screen. Okay, maybe you see now this is whoops. Now here you see this is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I hope the viewers can see. This is in Sundar Nursery, and you can see they've been used. If I go close, you can see there's red agra and pink dholpur, and then these are post lamps created with Indian stone. And when they are lit up at night, it looks amazing. Uh, Let me show you another image. These, we've used it for cladding, you know, smaller slates in houses in the hills. It gives a nice rustic finish. In our own office, this is an image of our own office, red agra stone, rough finish, groove,
Nice.
dry cladding. Here again, a seating area. We've created niches. So there are huge amount of possibilities. And then if you want a slightly glossy finish, you can use lacquer. If you want a matte finish, you can use any other silicone. Right? I hope that answers.
Yeah, that really does. And in fact, you've answered my next question already, because my next question was if you could share some unique ideas and elements that can be designed using stone. So if you'd like to add anything to this, you can.
Okay, so let me look up while I talk to you. Let me see if I can
Even if
show
it's
you.
not, if you can just talk about two or three
So these
different
are
ways.
stones, yeah. Some even in interior. This is an interior courtyard where you have use stone along the courtyard to give it a rough finish. Then we have counters, backsplashes,
Yeah.
treads, staircases. These are small light fixtures that we created, carved out of stone, as you can see.
Yeah.
Staircases. This is Jaisalmer stone, yellow Jaisalmer, polished, very nice Indian stones. And of course, the unique features that we can use are different kind of finishes. We can use them, and in a unique way is uh, I have used even in doors. Within the door, wooden door frame, instead of a ply panel, using a stone, it gives us a look of permanence and solidity. It looks beautiful, and also has very good insulation properties because stone is a very dense material, so it insulates from the sound. We have used it for partitions in offices. It can look very elegant because usually a gypsum partition or any other partition will need to be at least 3 inches or 75 mm in thickness. Now, if you do it in stone, you can have a freestanding stone of only 18 or 20
Yeah.
or just less than 1 inch.
Yeah.
Can act as a partition. And so we save space and very thin and we can use it for railings around an MS frame. Again, creates that solidity. I have mentioned previously, you can use it for furniture, even armrests sometimes, or even the legs of furniture, tabletops, corner tables. Staircases is another option where people explored, but not to that extent. We found it very versatile for staircases because staircases require a lot of traffic. So
Yeah.
again, functionally, you have to decide that you would use a hard stone, which can take a lot of traffic. Then to highlight certain surfaces, what happens is in interiors, we often have certain niches with lights. We have alcoves.
Yeah.
We have slits at places. We can use them for creating those niches and use the stone for framing. Door jambs, again, that is something new. Nowadays, we are using instead of wood, we are using a lot of aluminum frames, and most people use UPVC frames because screwing that on a door jamb directly on brick is not a great idea. So
Right.
if we have a stone jamb, it gives a very beautiful and straight finish, very sharp, neat finish. We can put it with a nice groove. And because stone is available in different colors, we can almost match it with the color of the UPVC or the aluminum windows that we are using. Then, of course, we use it for sculptures, landscape sculptures. In interiors, we use it for sculptures. We use it for creating planters. Apart from lights, we use it for creating planters. So, because it is something that can be used as a block, we must understand that stone is a very hard natural material. So, it can be carved, it can be scooped out, it can be chiseled, it can be cut, sliced. It's not possible with different materials, like steel or any other material, cement, things have to be cast. But here, because it's a composite solid material, it's one homogeneous material, you can experiment a lot with it. That is the beauty in interiors.
That's a very good note. My last question to you actually is stone, because you've shown examples also that have been existing for a while, right? And historically, stone was used everywhere, and that's where we find the beauty of stone. How do you think one can replicate, ancient architectural beauty into current modern day facade treatments?
So we like that royal look. India has such a rich architectural heritage. So the advantage is that if you want to create a feeling of royalness, then you can. A lot of times we use this, even this pink dholpur that is used, or the Gwalior stone or red Agra stone,
Yeah,
in our houses, in facades and cladding, because that
yeah,
gives it a look of permanence. So if you want to recreate that old grandeur, even in current day Havelis, a lot of houses that which have these jharokhas, which have these nice brackets, we use stone over there. So these are whenever you want to recreate, or even in conservation, we use a lot of stone. When you want to create a very rustic feel, again, we have that advantage because you get stone in different finishes and you can artificially treat it and give it a different finish. So you can make it look very rustic and traditional. At the same time, since you said, current facades, if you want to give it a very modern, contemporary look, then I would use maybe some polished marble. There's a whole range of Indian marble. There's a whole range of Italian marble. And again, we've seen one of the best ranges at A-class marble. And I think you have a fantastic collection. We always patronize that.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your support and sharing. I think you've shared so many specific examples, which is very, very useful for our audience. So thank you very much. Last thing, as you know, the series is called Let's Talk Design. So if you had one thing to say on stone and Let's Talk Design, what would you leave our audience with?
One word which I didn't use for stone is most sustainable material. Most environment friendly, most sustainable, and use it wherever you can. That's what I would suggest for everywhere. Building from a small furniture, from a pen stand to a table lamp to your flooring to an entire house. Go for stone. You can't go wrong.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I think this was really, really useful. As a thank you gesture, also A-Class has celebrated more than 50 years of being in the industry. So as a thank you gesture for you to support A-Class, they'll be planting a tree on your behalf and you'll be getting a certificate for the same. So
Thank you.
we really look forward to great work from you. Thank you so much for supporting
Look
A-Class.
forward.
Thank you so much.